Many times over the years, Brad and I have toyed with the idea of trying to go sugar-free for a bit. This means we cut out literally everything in our diet that has added sugars and sweeteners and see how we feel after a few weeks. But then we would laugh and laugh and laugh and remind ourselves of what a remarkably stupid idea it was, and that we would surely die of happiness deprivation. I mean, how do you give up brownies and cookies and all the sweet things that make life so enjoyable? Join us for this month-long journey summed up into a delightful montage of pure chaos, bliss, and freedom from our sugar-wielding overlords. Okay, we're not that addicted to sugar, are we? Why are we even doing this? So Brad and I each have our own pretty powerful reasons why we wanted to try going sugar-free for a while. For myself, I've been dealing with having acne practically my whole life, and honestly, I'm just really sick and tired of now being a 30-year-old woman who still has skin problems like I did when I was a teenager. For my husband Brad, he's been struggling with losing his vision over the past few years due to an inflammatory eye disease that could leave him completely blind in a few years. So it's safe to say that we've never had more motivation than we do right now at this moment to try going sugar-free and seeing what happens. Ow! Take that, sugar! I did not mean to do that! What have I done?
Moments later.
I think we're gonna have to get rid of a lot of stuff. There are so many hidden sugars in practically all sauces and condiments that you wouldn't even think of. Coconut cream cheese spread, this has sugars in it, which is cultured dextrose and corn maltodextrin. I don't know what those are, but I know that they're an added sugar, so that is going to be off the table. I have 2 of these. Into my box of rejects they go. Chipotles in adobo sauce. Oh, there's sugar on there. That's sad. Sugar is like the second ingredient on my plum sauce. Old-fashioned Dijon. No sugar! Oh my god, yay. Yes, I can keep tahini. Ketchup. I already know ketchup has sugar in it, so that's off the table this month. I think I'm gonna need another box. Might need to lend these out on consignment to my family and friends. Look at that. Look how much we had to get rid of in our fridge in order for it to be sugar-free. It's incredible how much your condiments are just packed with sugar. And you know what else is incredible? How dirty the inside of my fridge is. We're just gonna... Ooh, this one's a doozy. My baking cupboard. So clearly, there's so much hidden sugar in a lot of the everyday foods we eat. I mean, just look at all the stuff that I consume pretty regularly that has added sugars. And just because it's not all added cane sugar, there's all the different syrups. This has been kind of mind-blowing. In my research leading up to doing this 30-day no sugar challenge, I did some digging onto like, okay, what can I have on a no sugar diet? And dates turned out to be a great sweet alternative to sugar or sweetener because they are full of natural sugars, but they're a whole food and you can transform them into so many amazing things. You can make your own date paste and date syrup, which I did already, and I'm gonna be using it throughout this whole experience to sweeten things sparingly. And if you want to check out how to make your own date paste and date syrup, if you're looking for a natural sweetener, then definitely check out this video up here. It's a really quick and easy recipe that anyone can whip up in a pinch.
2 hours later.
We took a little trip to the grocery store after purging our kitchen so we could restock on more whole foods and produce. But first, here are entire aisles of the grocery store devoted to products packed with sugar, even the ones marketing themselves as health foods. Sugar is hidden absolutely everywhere, you guys, even in some of the products you would least expect. Sweet basil marinara. Sounds good. Does it have sugar though? Yes, it does. Look at that. It's like the 4th or 5th ingredient. Lame. Love this stuff, but look at that. Cane sugar. Why? Okay, you guys, Lara bars. These are where it's at. These things have nothing but, where's the ingredients? Cashews, dates, and dried apples. No added sugar. And they're so good, and they have so many different flavors. Now, obviously some of them have sugar, like if you're getting a chocolatey one. But for the most part, if you're not getting a chocolate flavored one, you can get one that's sugar-free. This was our first big grocery haul during our sugar-free January. It was kind of exciting to come home with tons of fresh produce and plant-based proteins and just a whole bunch of whole food goodness. We're very grateful to have access to such a wide variety of wholesome foods where we live. You can watch the full video of this grocery haul right up here if you're curious to see everything else we bought in this sugar-free haul.
4 to 6 days later.
We are on day 5 of our no sugar challenge, and we are both sick with a chest cold. Brad, don't tickle me. And we're both very sick and tired, and we don't have a lot of energy. I'm very sad, and today is a hard day.
2 weeks later.
Hello!
Hi!
We're 2 weeks in.
Yay.
Having so much fun.
It sucks.
We had COVID.
That sucked.
It sucked. It was hard. I don't need to talk about that. It sucked a lot, and all we wanted was to order in food. But could we, Bradley?
No, we couldn't.
No, we could not.
Yeah, our first big struggle is that, these first few weeks were tough because, like she said, with the COVID, we both were sick at the same time, and all we wanted to do was just order takeout. But every restaurant menu, every item had nothing but sugar on it, and so you kind of realize just how much restaurants use sugar in everything to get you addicted to their food so that you come back again. The second big struggle that we had
was that we have eliminated all the other sweeteners that we normally use. So that has been hard. I mean, I have made date paste. It's definitely been like our saving grace in a lot of the meals that I would usually sweeten, like our oatmeal, like we do big baked oatmeals in the morning, so that's been helpful. It's still hard. You realize how convenient it is to just be able to dump in some maple syrup or some coconut sugar or any sugar for that matter. So that's been a challenge.
And then the first 2 weeks here, things have tasted a little bit more bland than I think we're used to. Maybe we used too much sugar before, maybe too much maple syrup. My taste buds are recovering. It's like sugar killed them and now they're coming back to life.
It's true. It's like I'm starting to be able to taste my food more. I'm tasting it for what it actually is. We're hanging in there.
So the big question, Janelle, is do you think you're gonna be able to make it the full 30 days? Honestly.
Well, Bradley, that's a great question. Yes, I hope. I'm nervous because, as a woman, I get certain cravings around certain times of every month. And I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna look like, so pray for me. How about you, dear?
Well, surely I'm gonna give up at some point in the next week or two.
My name's not
It's been
Shirley.
tough. I'm on the verge.
Get yourself together, man!
Hold me. No, I think I'll be okay. I'll last. But there's only
You
one
better.
way.
I need you.
Yeah.
Pray for us.
And things improved. So.
Thousands of tears later.
What's going on, Janelle? You doing all right?
All I want is chocolate, and I can't have any. Everything sucks. Frickin' blows. Why are we even doing this?
One pathetic sob story later.
Hi. I'm happy. We made brownies. Actually, I made brownies. I'm so excited. Oh my god. It's so good. There's no sugar in them. Yay me.
Flashback.
Some of our favorite meals that we ate on repeat during this month of no sugar were sweet potato toast, full recipe video here, oatmeal with fresh fruit, lots of fruit whenever I wanted something sweet, noodle bowls with sauteed veggies and tofu or some edamame, breakfast potatoes with tofu scramble, and of course, date-sweetened treats like bliss balls and these totally epic sweet potato brownies that were so good. We
did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
Oh my God. We did it.
Yes.
And so, you know what's so crazy is that like now it feels easy.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel easy?
Sure does. Sure does, champ.
So here's some positive things that have occurred.
We should say we're actually at the 35-day mark here as
True.
of filming this, and we've gone 35 straight days going no sugar.
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest successes? Tell us a bit about yourself and what changed.
Well, so this is kind of awesome. I lost a few pounds, which I was hoping would happen, but I wasn't necessarily expecting. I lost, I think, 3 pounds, maybe 4. It really depends on the day. 3 to 4 pounds.
And it was the same for me. I lost about 3 to 4 pounds. I'd say that's fantastic. And that's to be expected. You cut out sugar, you're going to decrease your weight. And I mean, we were barely even working out that much.
You know, thanks to COVID earlier in the month. But yeah, crazy, just from not eating sugar.
Second big thing?
Well, for me, personally, my acne cleared up quite a lot. You know, I still am dealing with acne. It's not like I was expecting it to go away, but I feel like my complexion has cleared up quite a lot. And obviously I'm gonna have some scarring still from like previous breakouts, but I found that as the month went on, like the amount of breakouts I was getting, like they've been significantly reduced.
That's awesome.
Not gone away completely, but reduced. So that's promising.
Yeah. I mean, we're only talking 4 weeks here, so it's going to be something that maybe over many months might actually make the biggest change.
Yeah, and that's why it's so encouraging, because this is just the first month. Okay, so that's like my celebrations. What about you? Tell the people what you've noticed.
Yeah, so the biggest one, the most impactful one, the most meaningful one is that, you know, for the first time in well over 2 years now, I've actually noticed an improvement in my vision. The central vision, which is inflamed and is the inflammatory issue that is causing me to see that this clouding in the middle actually cleared up a little bit. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make me go, well, this is the first time in 2 years that I actually have some hope that things will improve. And I think I figured out maybe something that is causing the inflammation, and so for me that's pretty huge. Yeah. So one more win. I am sleeping a lot better these days, and I'm dreaming a lot more when I sleep. I don't know if that's, you know, like science. I don't know, but I have been sleeping so much better lately. I would agree. Okay, so worst part of going sugar-free for 30 days. At one point, the cravings were unreal. The first few weeks are tough. Anybody who wants to do something like this, as with any diet change, it's more of a gradual thing. It's tough to go cold turkey right off the beginning and cut it out. So definitely the first 2 weeks were tough. But now that we're into it 30 days, we feel good. We got it all sorted out. We got it all figured out. And so I'd say if I were to do it again or recommend somebody to do it like you guys, I would say start with kind of the gradual process and don't go quite as extreme as we did, but give yourself a few weeks before you go cold turkey on this. I guess we should say before you go cold tofurkey. Last big question for you is, will you continue after the 30 days? I think so. This is gonna sound so cliche, but I feel like a changed woman. Yeah. But I really do mean that. I feel so confident in like the food that we're eating. I don't know. I don't really feel like the need to go back to the way we were eating. While I'm not going to maybe be as strict. You? I'm never going back to the way things were. Well, you scared me there for a second. Yeah, and I think that with the progress that I've seen in my vision and also just general health and energy levels, without a doubt, we're gonna continue forward. And the caveat is that I think still when you go out to restaurants and different places with friends, you know, you don't wanna be the person who just orders lettuce for your meal. Yeah. You want to have fun still occasionally. I'm not gonna be like extremely strict that no sugar. Yeah. It's yeah, you know, you gotta like, it's true, you gotta have fun. So I think that wraps it up. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you think we left out, or if you have any questions that just weren't answered, please ask us in a comment below. I'm sure you guys are gonna have comments and questions for us. We'd love to answer them. And that's it. Give this video a like if you found it helpful. Let us know if you're interested in going on a sugar-free challenge and what you're most excited for, scared, maybe nervous about, and how we can help you. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in another video. Bye.